Hello everyone, I am the plane shifter phasing to the universe of Pyre, and we fought the Pyre hearts. They were weak. We won easily. Now we are going to fight the essence for a liberation right. But first... Oh, hi Jodariel. What's on your mind? You approach Jodariel, who seems to be busy explaining something to Sergioman. And so, fainting left against them proves to be reliable. They all lead with the right wings when they choose to strike. They are quick, but can leave themselves quite vulnerable. Such sage counsel, madam. This knight feels most emboldened should he ever again be forced to confront the high-wing remnants in single combat. You never shall. Being here, I suppose it's unlikely. She notices you then. Leader, the good knight and I were just comparing survival strategies we picked up on the blood border, reminiscing on old times. Would be called. Indeed, the good Jodariel has volunteered to become this knight's master at arms. Should we ever achieve our liberty together? And this knight humbly accepts. No. What? I said no such thing. Oh, you naughty worm. But the finest lessons are the harshest made, madam. This knight's overjoyed that you would truthfully train him as your protégé. Reader, spare me, please. You somehow managed to steer the subject back to military tactics. This knight's not impressed with your familiarity with the finer points being sliced to ribbons by the high-wing remnants, Master Reader. Sir Gilman and Jodariel continued the conversation for some time. You sense they are in relatively good spirits, all things considered. Good. Who's on the boat? Lord Sandrot. Lord Gandrot. A warrior of surpassing strength that Golatanian, single-handedly he slew the serpent titan Gandrot, which envenomed downside prairie verdant plains. Master General Golatanian, he was underrated by Lord Gandrot's myriad attacks. Undeterred, not underrated. Undeterred by Lord Gandrot's myriad attacks. His lashing tail, it hurled rocks the shape of swords, and thrice as sharp, his eyes reduced brave folk to mewing babes. But Golatanian stood tall and brandished his tower shield, and said Lord Gandrot furried back into his monstrous countenance. Now Lord Gandrot takes the shape of a stone ridge with big squirrels, and now as well you know the full unguarded truth about his fearsome past and Golatanian's glory. Okay. So Walfred stood in private, Jody is nearby. Pamita is eating with Tizo. Bertold is intimidating the dragons. Humans nearby. Rai is sniffing at something. Tizo is eating with Pamita. Rake is out on his own. Tarek is atop the wagon. And Sandra is training herself. Okay. Let's just keep going. I want to do the liberation right this episode if at all possible. I really want to free somebody. It takes forever to traverse these places. Ooh. Ooh. As the wagon soars across the skies above a waking wood, you notice Walfred appear lost in thought. You cannot sense straight away what he's thinking. Do not mind, Reader. It is simply that being here in this vicinity, it brings back a lot of memories, and gives me much to ponder. I hid within those woods for many years, making preparations for our plan. I cast aside my remains and became untraceable. That I waited for the plan to germinate, so it means a lot now to be here above that place at least. Quite a view, wouldn't you say, my kin? Indeed. The nest of Trieste Move pass. Nothing to learn here. Let's keep going. Ooh, a part where Jodario wants to could gain favor here. And here, Guilman. Of course, we're going to the Emperor's Fall. You make landing upon the Mount Aloriel, where Volfred pulls you aside while the others complete the post-flight inspections. He puffs at his pipe before speaking up. Reader, as you know, I know your derangement once again. This means that I, myself, recently worked to regain my freedom in the eyes of the Ike scribes. Know, however, that it's not my wish to go just yet. It's true, I could be of some benefit should our plan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. I agree. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on surer footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I wanted you to know. I shall of course defer to you, but perhaps not to contradict the reader's will. Anyway, I trust that all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom, if not soon, then by when all of this is over. Hopefully. Anybody wants to speak to me? Oh, let's seek the Nomad Scribe's favor. Having completed the post-flight inspections, you and Jodario visit the monument of Gogotanian here in Emperor's Fall. You scribes are quite predictable. The others were naive to think our opportunities at freedom were indefinite. So now we have to make the most of every chance, is that not so? I feel to see how that is any other thing than before. Soon she's finished paying her respects. Return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Gogotanian has shown you favor. You soon shall ascend the mountain, though there is no time for you to pursue your vocations. Yeah, plus your hope. Affects duration of banishment, nice. Accept the blessing. Ooh, let's check inside first. Hi again. Jodario seems to be fidgeting with her horns. Fidgeting. Blast these wretched things, reader. Have you any inkling as to how unwieldy they become with age? I long for the day when the wound in my leg was chief among my bodily concerns. Jodario seems frustrated about her horns. Say they look heavy, say they look good. You find it difficult to imagine Jodario without her stately horns. You know a rhetorical question when you hear one, best lest she speak her mind. It seems one have grown entirely accustomed to become a demon of the kneel down. Sighed. I think I'll say nothing on this matter. You remain silent, since that Jodario was not seeking a specific response for Yoda's. In this case, she soon continues. I suppose that there is no way to know for certain the experience of having horns, other than to sprout venom for oneself. 10 years or so into my stay within this blessed place, I first felt protrusions from my scalp. They remained hidden by my hair for quite some time, but I knew that would not last. We all heard much of demons in the Commonwealth. Sinners, rightfully exiled, would assume their rightful form. Thus, when my horns started to sprout, I took it as an indication that perhaps it was indeed the fate that I deserved. I don't think so, Jodario. Not for the reasons you were banished. She trails off a while. I know somewhat better now. Anybody of her kind have done here long enough and left alive becomes like this. Something in the climate? Difficult to say. A disease of sorts, but not a deadly one. If anything, the opposite. If we live long enough, then we live longer still. Like this. Abstentus are sentenced into exile. Sometimes I think if these horns are here to symbolize my sins, then surely they are going to recede if I ever return. On nights when these damned horns prevent my sleep, my thoughts inevitably strays to that hopeless idea, and I hope which never leaves, despite prolonged attempt to rid myself of it. Horns are not worth the trouble, reader. She not really as she heads into the afternoon. Arguing with Pamita. Jolly is nearby, Pamita is arguing with Walfred. Bertrude's building a fire. Guillaume's littering in circles, looking for something. Yes. Tizo is hunting for snacks. Grinteo is chewing with something. Tarek is singing softly, and Sandra is arguing with a phantom. Don't think Sandra has anything else to say to us. Oh wait, what about the fruits and things? Yeah, no. Okay. That's mental lucky. Sure, Shamlik. Go for some enlightenment right now. Those might take the edge off. Recognize somewhat strong grasp of how to better pass the celestial orb through strength of will and trust one's to invigorate that through dexterity alone, he nods in understanding. Ooh. That arm thing feels like it weighs a ton sometimes, and other times it's like a feather. Indeed. Okay, if he does not go free, at least he will be more powerful. Bertrude and Walfred. Let's go Bertrude. Since I already have my team set up. Just want to learn anything. On the road to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Underking Ors, and Bertrude happens to take notice. The ancient gods who flicked among the stars. Plant this bone on sandalwood, if one is to be granted, for he shall put it to good use. He seems to still believing, to some extent at least. Too shall we do the same for now, and honor our thy traditions. Soon she is finished paying her respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense that other King Ord has shown her favor. Glory, wow. Hello. You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of Scrible's gates before archway carved in stone where stands the gate guardian. Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Night Winds have returned, even as the sack of the rites begins to round into it. The Night Winds accept this as tis will as the will of the Scribes. The gate guardian laughs at this softly for some reason. And you, Ty, do you accept the review as well? But the long minstrel does not answer her. It's no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you come forth and state what it is that you seek whilst crossing Scribe Street. One by one, the Nightwings declared themselves, you all pass through as before. When Walfred takes his turn, selects the stops. You, I see you are the raiment once again. Explain. The cycle of the righteous is ending, while I do not know exactly why. I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and takes his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirates to be the true Nightwings. A splinter faction from the Scribe's most favorite triumvirate. I remember well the contemporary honing me and the Nightwings stand divided. Yes, and so I wear the raiment once again in case that it may help to right us wrong. For I am Walfred Sandalwood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side and bring our freedom to the people there. She considers Walfred's words for a moment. I see, then move along. The guardian of Scribe's gates will guard you all, and then she beckons you onward. Gate Scribes, bid the Nightwings welcome, go forth with glory. Celeste, what's it, Tare? The way of the Scribes. Long have we both followed it. I think you would agree, in equal measure. as it draw us close, as separated us. But if their aim now is to keep us apart for another age or longer, then no, I do not accept their will. You blaspheme, Tarek? And at the gate no less? But the lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then may the scribes the self-admonishment into tomorrow manifest. Yeah, they like each other or something. And I just noticed that his skin is pale white and she is completely black. Night and day, perhaps? But then she dons sun garments and he dons lunar garments. Interesting. Or is this the stars? I don't know. Okay, I'm nervous. Now the nerves are getting to me. Having reached the packet of Montalodia again, you cannot help but reflect on whether one of your companions may go free this time, or remain stranded in the downside as Rocky did after last time. Hello, Wolfred. Wolfred looks up as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my king, but it's good to hear the raiments in the rites once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hearts. Besides the nighting of today, we are a very different beast than the triumvirate which took me in almost a decade ago. Or was it triumvirates of exactly 3? Well, 4 with Tizo, who proved to be an exception. 2 historically, the nightings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor, Brianton, and former companions Elisa and Oralek. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But as seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there is more you wish to learn. Oh man, this will be Let's ask about Oralek. You ask about Oralek? What Oralek was like when he and Wolfred first became acquainted. Wolfred remained silent for some time. I was very, very sick, you know, when I first landed in the downside. The long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. It was Oralek who found me. He could not have known of my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician, intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Oralek, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he said he grew repulsed by what he saw. He saw in his heart a yearning for an end to all the bloodshed, so he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the highwayman remnants. It must have gone about how you'd expect. He was given direct orders to return from the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him into the town side. Here he gained the notice of the Nightlings, and before long he grew to be one of the finest rites conductors anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose roles in the triumvirate were later filled by Elisa. In time, Oralek's own opportunities for freedom had come up. He longed for it, so that with his exalted status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point. Wolfred have sighed. He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I could not bear to think that he has gone, and now I still cannot entirely believe that he is back. He is our adversary now, transformed, grown, cold. Still, part of me is happy that he is alive. Make no mistake, of course, I shall not be swayed against our plan, nor by Oralek or anyone, as I have said before. We shall hide their calling now. As for Oralek, he wants his freedom still, although I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, instead of something else making everything else. The traitor. She betrayed Oralek, causing the Nightwings to fall apart. Why would she do such a thing? You ask about Arisa, who you understand betrayed Oralek at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the simmer pool. I am afraid you know the brunt of it, my king, but I suppose you ought to know something of Arisa's past. That you'll be quick to judge her solely by her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuse for the terrible choice you ultimately made, but her life, I understand, was very difficult. Arisa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. You could see it plainly branded on her face, such as the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. What? She was a reader? She was an apprentice blacksmith in Helgold, taking up the post left by her brother, and had fallen in battle on the Blood Border, despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered after this, and had grown cruel and detached. It was Arisa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. One day it was all too much for her, so and next she lashed out at her. She stood back. She stood back again and again and again. Holy crap, she killed her own father. When it came for her father was gone. When they came for her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime, where her hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Arisa always was intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the Hagwin remnant a great siege engine that would shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud. What she ultimately did to Oralek, it was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think that she was simply evil, nor do I think that it was personal. Well, they did have conflicting ideals. I often wondered though, if in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool she understood what she had done, and the depths to which she had fallen. For years I must admit that I hated her, but now my only hope is that she found peace unattained during her relatively short life in the downside in the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hoped a life Arisa offers some perspective yet to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, there was something else? Right. You inquire about Brighton, who you understand was liberated prior to when Wolfred first joined the Nightwings. I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now. Told for that matter, my king. So do you. He studies your reactions for a moment then. He's out there doing something for the plan, right? Brighton back, I believe. Brighton was born wealthy, but not special otherwise. You would have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why and do not care for the spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Elise and Oralek, who found in me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Oralek gave the impression they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I soon would hear from him myself. Indeed, as I become accustomed to the book, which you know well by now, I soon began to hear the voice. Wolfred looks at you as if to see if you yet take his meaning. Oralek, no, not Oralek. What's the name? This guy is the voice? You see, my king. After Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth and a new responsibility to the triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you hear from time to time, however the styles align, it's his. So, he is no longer Brighton. He is now none other than the Archjustice Andorbalus IX himself. The Grand Judge and figurehead under watch to the Commonwealth is governed. Under whose watch the Commonwealth is governed in this day. Those who violate the law of the Commonwealth face sentencing by the appointed Archjustice. Whoa! Liberate exiles retain certain burdens to their oath to ingrates. They have much to thank them for. Not just their freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiment simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. The public passes are nothing but fabrications, like Brighton. They once were exiles too. Brighton, that voice. He has no love for either one of us. By now, he knows full well that we attempt to do, yet he is bound by the traditions of the rites. He shall always stand on the ceremony and complain, but I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exiles such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen you the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's the path you wanted to pursue, I should have mentioned. Now then, who else should we talk about? We talk about everyone. Thank you. We bid Wolfred a good afternoon and leave him with his memories. My pleasure, readers. Reflecting on the past for some time and helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet now how much farther we have to go. So now I know who the voice is. In silence. No telling what Pamit is doing. Expecting talismans, okay. Praising the Underking. Saluting the scribes. Up in the rafters. Flirting to himself. Off somewhere else. And arguing with the Beyonders. 50% still. Let's take a look at this one map. Hey guys, I don't know what's going on here with all the stars all acting weird and stuff, but let me tell you something here. You ain't gonna feel a better deal on all this stuff from anybody. I mean anybody. On the downside. You can trust me when I tell you, okay? So go ahead and stock it up. See. Yeah. Proceed. I really want to save for this thing. Appreciate you doing business and you guys be sure to tell your friends, okay? I would commence the rights, but this episode is going long. My throat is completely dry, so thank you guys so much for watching. I am the Plane Shifter, and I'm phasing out.